How do we keep the spark alive as our story evolves? Let's talk about it right after this.
Let's talk about love and marriage the way that God intended. Life experience, here we share it. The Low Fruit Podcast. Tune in from any platform. Low Fruit Podcast. Will help your spirit transform.
Hey y'all, how are y'all?
Hello, everybody.
So we are back together once again.
I missed it.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah. But I had fun with us going with the banter back and forth with each other. I think that would give y'all a different perspective on how we like to do our show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We would love to get feedback on it. But I want to go back to what the topic is.
Mm-hmm.
How do we keep the spark alive as our story evolves? Now, you've heard us speak about reading between the lines, finding the clues with Blue's Clues,
Mm-hmm.
The art of suggestion. I can't think of a
kid show for that
yeah,
one.
kid shows for that one. Hearing what's unspoken, and when words aren't enough. See, unfortunately, when we look at trying to keep the spark alive, these are some of the things that can hinder. They could really get in the way. When we think we don't have the right words, enough words. I'm sorry, I got enough words.
Right.
But when sometimes we feel like we say so much because we're still trying to find the words. So we just let it be, verbal diarrhea.
Or,
It could be.
when actions, do actions speak louder than words for those of us that don't have a whole lot to say.
Right.
And our actions do a lot of what we are thinking, feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way that we show love, anger.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not a verbal yelling. It's a shoe flying across the room.
I mean, that goes with the, the art of suggestion. Like, here's my art form, kung fu art, whatever it might be.
It's just suggesting you should go for a walk.
Yeah. Whatever it might be.
Or maybe I should go for a walk.
You can't go barefoot. Maybe you should. I guess. I don't know. But these are things that we need to understand. And when I say need, like we really need to understand. When we talk about keeping the spark alive, we need to be very considerate of the other individual. I and Kafa, again, could tell you that I look at a lot of YouTube crazy stuff because sometimes when I'm tired of thinking of real life stuff, I look at something off. And part of it is because of my legal class that I had just taken in school. So I just keep looking at legal or law things. So I look at a lot of judge stuff. And you listen to what they have to say and why their sparks had dimmed down a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it has been their community of friends. The he say, she say stuff.
Right.
I've seen some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how popular that really was.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was financial situations, which I totally understand and get, because we've been through some really, really challenging financial, things, and we're going through one right now. It's not technically our issue, but it is our issue, right? And then, you have those moments of what we're talking about right now of just basic miscommunication, and and whether it is a gesture, whether it is a just coming to Kafa. I know for myself, me and my many words, but one of the things I've been very, very adamant about lately has been expressing to Kafa, one, how much she really means to me, and what she is in my life. and being able to. So there's two parts of this mode of communication. There's one part where we talk about the words,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a whole nother part that I've been able to get to a better place of because of where I am in my life, which is looking at her dead in her eye. And I haven't always been confident enough to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if I had imposter syndrome in some cases, where I thought, hey, you know what, I could do that. I'm the man of the house, whatever it is. But you know what? You're still a little boy in that situation, Maurice. You haven't been adult enough. And I told her not too long ago, like, no, I'm an adult now. Like, you know, it's a different vibe. You know, and so, again, those are those non-verbal communication cues.
Yes.
And now, you know, if she can know that her husband is coming to her, looking at her eye and saying to her, like, no, this is where it is. This is what's going on. Can she follow me in a different space without it being or feeling like it's intimidation or whatever it is? Because sometimes you look at somebody in the eye, it can feel like intimidation.
Right.
Right.
In some cultures, you can't do that. But again, when you're in, a marital situation, you would want to be able to do that. So again, some of those mixed communications, I'm not going to say miscommunications, kind of mixed communications, going on where you're verbally saying one thing, but then your body language, that eye contact, the stance, the distance between you and that person you're speaking to says something totally different. So, do you believe the lip service that you're receiving and taking a man at his word or woman at her word? Or do you read into all the other things and say, okay, well, you're saying you love me, but your body language is not saying that. So there's a disconnect there. So what part do you believe? And sometimes we take that and we run with it. We think that that's what it is, and we make that up in our minds. And sometimes it ain't. That's what it is. Like you said, did Maurice not look at me in the eye mean that he wasn't true to what he was saying? Do I, call him like, oh, he was just lying. He wasn't fibbing. He couldn't tell, he couldn't tell me the truth. Or was that really his truth? But the fact that he couldn't look at me in the eye was something else. As he said, like, hey, he had some other issues deeper within himself that was not contradictory to what he was saying. It was just, hey, I needed to do some growing up. I needed to look at some things a little bit differently. It didn't mean that he didn't believe in what he was saying. So I think that's just something that we have to kind of also understand and give each other grace in all of this.
But grace is not easy to give.
Why not? They sell it at the store, don't they?
Grace?
Yes.
How do you buy grace? Like, now I'm all confused. You could buy grace? Like, that'd be interesting.
Oh,
but
goodness.
I think what happens is that we need to take a step back. And like you said, give somebody grace because some of that will cause us to, again, look at things from a different lens.
Yes.
Right? And it's not always easy to look at it from a different lens. It's not always easy to take your ego out of a situation. It's not always easy to humble yourself. I mean, and again, well, Kafa knows my family background, but I can't sit here and say that my family has that humbleness like that. It's a level of what appear to be humbleness, or meekness, or whatever it is, but there's an underlining message.
Right.
There's an underlining situation, and because it is your family, not you, I'm talking about my own, but people that's out there when you're listening, when you take a look at your family, can you really see what's really going on? Well, listen, we had an aunt who just finished talking to us, who mentioned that things were going on around her that she didn't even realize was going on.
And I think it's your perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? As you say, you can't you can't see it and smell it. You know what I mean? When you're in it.
Right.
It's not until you walk away and you step out of it that you can see the mess that you were in, or even see the beauty of whatever situation you were in. You know, so that part makes it tough as well, to really understand where you are, where you're from. But you have to kind of understand some of that in order to really get where you're going. So I think being able to not only apply grace in the situation, but some self-reflection. You know, like, where am I in this situation? You know, so that you're not being judgmental of the other person. So again, Maurice is saying he would say things to me and wouldn't look at me directly in my eyes. But I could, you know, at times, and I told him, like, that would make me feel off. You know, like, why are you making me these promises and you're looking above me, you know, at my hair or above my head, type of a thing, somewhat close to my eyes, but not looking at me in my eyes. And that can make me feel a certain way, but I also have to think about, well, what am I doing? What am I presenting? One, you know, in reference to how do we get to this topic and this conversation, but then two, you know, again, what am I doing to reassure him that it's okay to look at me in my eyes? Like, again, that it's not, I'm going to be standoffish, or I'm going to challenge him, you know, by looking, you know, I'm going to stare you down and, you know, hold you to it, you know, type of a thing. No. Was I being loving? Was I being concerning? Was I being caring, you know, providing that grace, welcoming to what he was saying? Or was I like, yeah, okay. So.
So let's keep that energy right there.
Right.
Right. So if you were in that I don't care vibe, right? All right, whatever vibe. All right, you know, I got you. All right, well, do I really want to, or do I feel, like you said, protected? Do I feel safe? And do I really want to, I really want to tell you this and give you my all, my energy, but I know that you're going to dismiss me. Like, you know, sometimes you could feel that way, you know, and,
or like you said previously, like, are you, maybe you won't be dismissed, but maybe you were in a previous book or a previous chapter, and you're reading ahead and thinking like, okay, well, this is just how it's going to be again. So again, you put out that energy, bracing yourself for
that disruption,
you know, what you think is going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the other person receives that energy, or I receive that energy, and then that just causes a chain reaction of events, you know, which makes it tough. It makes it tough. You know, we're being real with you all. Relationships can be tough, you know, and it's not easy to be on the same page all the time. And as Marisa said, like, even being on the same page, the interpretation is totally different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, again, you can read the same book over and over again, and it can mean something different each time that you read it. You can see something new in what you've read over and over again. Like, you know, I was always, when I was little, I'm like, how are these little old ladies reading the same Bible over and over? And like, and it looked like they reading the same Bible. Like, the Bible just looks old. And it's like, you know, they're not doing it for memorization? You know, it's when they read it, they get something, no revelation each time.
It's the I've seen some bad days. And some, like, it's that vibe, right?
That's that vibe.
You know, because some of y'all Bibles look like that.
The pages is brown.
You know, but if you listen to another episode and I said that word love, right? And I kept harping on that word love because And just to give y'all a little backstory, but go back and listen to the episode. For God so loved the world, right? And that word love means so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the reality. I could be honest with you, Kaf. I could see over 25 years when I said I love you, it meant something different. Not every single time,
Mm-hmm.
but if I look back, I'm like, wow, did I say I love you because you were there for me? Did I say I love you because I wanted us to stop arguing? Did I say I love you because I like the color that's on your body? Whatever. Like, did I say I love you just because something good happened to me today? It had nothing to really do with you, but it had everything to do with whatever I was going through, whatever the situation is. It, again, the word love, or we use it in such or can be used in such a loose vibe at times.
Right.
And so it can mean so many different things. But then I don't know how you would take it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could say, yo, baby, I love you. And you're like, well, let me analyze. Because you say, yo, baby,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're like, which way is he going right now?
Right. I mean, I think love, like you said, it's used in so many different ways. It really has multiple meanings. It's kind of like here, we're on the East Coast of the United States. And we have all 4 seasons. And we're going to be entering winter season. So we have this thing called snow.
It's funny that you said like people don't know what that is.
So, there's precipitation in the winter months, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere around there and lower. We get snow, and we call it snow. And it can be a wet, freezy snow. It could be a light and fluffy snow. It could be snow that looks like it's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters big. But it's all snow to us. But then you go to other places in the world, and they have a different name for each type of snow. The wet snow is a different name. And it's not like, like when we grew up in church, like, oh, there's agape love, and there's this love, and there's that kind, there's another word in front of it to kind of express and explain the different types of love. But in other cultures, when it comes to snow, it's not like, hey, it's this snow, that snow. It's just another word. And I think like love, it's like snow. It just has so many different forms. Like no snowflake is the same. And here, the snow days that we have, no snow, like last winter, each snow day was different. Whether it's a wet snow and it's like, yep, y'all got to come help because this is some heavy snow. I can't shovel all this by myself. And then other times it's like, nope, I can just go out here with a broom or, blower and just blow it like I'm blowing leaves, and then there was, other snow. It's just like, did it snow? Like we saw it fall from the sky, but nothing is on the ground. So there's just different types, and it's just different, and it's okay for it all to be called snow, just like there's just different types of love. And it's okay for it all to be called love, whether it's the kind that sticks to you or the kind that's there, it's there, but it just doesn't show up. The kind that there's so much there that you can make snowmen and snow angels and, do a whole lot with the snow because it's just so much there. Like there's so much love. You can do so much with it, and I think that's how love is. But I went off on this little tangent. I'm sorry, talking about love. Maurice is looking at me like he wants to tell me he loves me. Baby, I love you too.
I want a Pepsi.
That is not what you was thinking. I know you love a Pepsi, but that's not what you was thinking. You was thinking, that's my girl over there. Listen to her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was thinking about a Pepsi. And
in the snow.
But in I don't want Pepsi in the snow. No.
No. Okay.
No, not really. It's not going to be cold enough. I'm sorry, that when you say put Pepsi, you want me to drink the Pepsi while I'm in the snow? Mm-hmm. Or are you talking about taking my Pepsi and putting it in the snow for it to get cold?
No, you stand in the snow drinking a Pepsi.
Oh, no, heck no, I ain't doing that. That's a waste.
Why?
For me is sitting back, looking at TV, drinking a Pepsi.
Watching the snowfall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. After you shoveled it all.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but as Kafa is stating, and this continuation of this idea of love, I believe that we all really need to even understand, even though I'm saying, or we're saying, understand what it means for someone else, but really, 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 really understand what it means for you.
Mm-hmm.
And be able to explain it to the person you love. What is the real value that you put on that word? What is the real value that you have on that emotion? And how much you are trying to protect it? Because a lot of times we don't understand the barriers. Sometimes we don't understand why people will not say it. Like I just mentioned, I have my grandmother who never said it to me.
But some of that is, when you said barriers, sometimes the barrier is not even just for ourselves. It's the barrier for the other person because we love that person so much.
And that's why I'm saying that,
Right.
So
It
why
goes both
wouldn't my grandmom say I love you to us, at all? Her kids, her grandkids, whatever, like why wouldn't she say it? And so you just kind of sit back and wonder what's up with that. So what did that mean to her? And what was her value on that? Because like I said, she already had said to us, well, she said it to me, you don't love inanimate objects. Well, Grandma, I'm a live human being. Like, I'm walking around, whatever. Like, in my mind, again, when I'm a kid, hey, you know what, Grandma? When I get a certain age, and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to take care of you, Grandma. I'm like, I'm going to build you a house, Grandma, and we're going to have cookies, and we're going to do this, that, and the other. And she was like, yes, Maurice, I know. Now, she could have said, no, you're not, little boy. I understand that's a dream, but, that's exactly what that is. And she loved me so much to not hurt my feelings, but, in that, I was showing or expressing love, right?
Yeah.
So again, we all express it and show in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes not knowing that person's love language,
Right.
their expression or whatever it is, sometimes we don't always value how they're showing it or expressing it, and sometimes it could be with me being with my aunt recently, sometimes just being there with them shows them how much you care and love them.
Yes.
Right? We even heard another aunt who said, I don't have anyone who calls me and talks to me or whatever. She just mentioned it,
Mm-hmm.
But I think the challenge is that as we age, sometimes we don't understand our own involvement.
Mm-hmm.
We don't understand the people that have been around us and that have filled in the spaces where there could have been moments of, all right, if this person was here, well, I wouldn't be feeling lonely because this person is here. At least I got somebody to talk to or call or whatever it is.
Right.
But this person is no longer here. Whether it's a spouse, whether it's a family member, whether it's a best friend, whatever it is. Look, it could be, now that we're old enough, how many buildings have we seen torn down? You get what I mean? I had just said to a neighbor, I wish Woolworth was still around, right?
My.
And she said, oh, yeah, and I would go get my Christmas decorations.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not even be, hey, I need a person, but I just enjoy walking around the store looking at the flashing lights or whatever it might be. So sometimes we need to understand what is that love language for those individuals, and what puts a smile on their face. So I think that's what, as we continue to move forward in our next season of life, whatever our next season is, each and every one of us goes through seasons. But as we continue to go through these seasons of life, can we please evaluate ourselves and express to the other person what love really means to us?
Yes, because we have to keep that spark.
That's what keeps the spark going.
That's what keeps the spark going. Gotta be sparky.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Keep it sparky, y'all.
I'm drawing a blank. Because, oh my gosh, like I'm thinking about there's so many different commercials. Keep it frosty, not frosty. There's so many people or things that says keep it whatever. So I'm sorry, I went to another space. I'm sorry, Kyle, because you're looking at me all frowned up and whatnot.
I'm trying to figure out what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Communication.
Yeah, well, I don't remember, so I'll keep that. Can we erase that line? Can we erase that?
Yeah, we'll go back. Keep it sparky, y'all.
Can we white it out? Do y'all even know what whiteout is? No.
Liquid paper.
Liquid paper.
Liquid mate.
Well, I was going to say, you know how back on the typewriter you would get the piece of tape and put the tape over top of it. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
The piece of paper that had adhesive on it. I forgot what it was called.
It was correction something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only because I saw in my aunt's house recently. So
she was fancy.
I was like, what? I forgot about that. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yes. So keeping it sparky. Let us know how you keep things sparky in your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And what love means to you.
Yes. We thank you all very much for listening today.
Thank you.
We'll talk to y'all.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the No Fruit Podcast, where we bring you fruitful conversations, ripened wisdom, and love that's deeply rooted. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration in their day. Until next time, stay rooted in love, and remember, every seed you plant today shapes the fruit of tomorrow.